following on from the last 3 videos, you have to watch them in order. This is fascinating. So Murdoch is now hidden way up in the King's Chamber, even above that, which is where they found the fake graffiti, but that's another story. So he was crushing all these crystals, etc., and outside, eventually, Enki and Enlil agreed that they would let Murdoch live, but not give him any land and exile him. So they ended up having to get Ninurta to try and work out how to get into the Great Pyramid. So what they'd done was they cut up here, they cut a passageway, and then had to get another passageway, and finally got to Murdoch. They brought him out, and he was unconscious. They managed to revive him, and they said to him, "You've not got any land, but we're going to let you live." And he said, "No, I would rather die." And I'll tell you what happens in the next. Murdoch finally agreed that he could be banished and still live. However, that's not the end of Murdoch. He becomes Ra later on, but I'll cover that when we get there. So what happened next was Inanna wanted the pyramid that was created as a beacon to be destroyed. She said it reminds her of her loved one. So Ninurta went in his craft and shot the capstone off, because they couldn't actually shoot through the pyramid itself, so obviously their technology, without totally destroying it. So they shot the capstone off, and they collected the remaining unbroken crystals and set up another beacon somewhere else. Now they do describe what these locations, but obviously it's very difficult to know where they are because they're different names. God is real, according to possibly tablet 12 or 13 of the ancient texts, where he talks to the Anunnaki, Enlil, Enki and Ninshag, the sister, and he said he was called Galzu, and he came over apparently from Nibiru and explained to the 3 of them that there's going to be a flood, and that they can't go back to Nibiru because of their age. Now they will die. Now he had white hair and was young looking, and the sister said she recognised him and he went to school with her, but obviously she's now aged because she's on Earth. Anyway, cut to after the flood. You are going to love this. Anzu came down. Now obviously Galzu left. Anzu came down, he's the king, and I'll tell you, following on from my last video where I said God spoke to the Anunnaki. So, after the flood, Anu came down from Nibiru, this was his last trip, and he spoke to the 3 siblings, Enki, Enlil and Ninshag, and they thanked him for sending the emissary, Galzu. And he said, "What emissary?" And they said, "The one that came down and told us we can't go back to Nibiru because we will die because of the age, and the one that warned us about the flood." King Anu said, "I never sent anyone, I didn't know anything about this. We do know that you will age, but we didn't know anything about sending any emissary." So they all concluded that it was possibly, and this is their words, the creator of everything, trying to warn them and to let them keep humans alive, which is very interesting. Next time you think you're having a bad day or year, just remember the Anunnaki lived for hundreds of thousands of years and were mining in South Africa. Imagine doing that for hundreds of thousands of years.